the stage, Ed Aczel, everybody!
Hi. I've got I've got 3 jokes. Not great, any of them by any stretch of, by any stretch. Anyway, I tend to just do the first joke, sort of see what happens, and then I'll probably do the other 2, and then it'll be over. One way or another, we'll get through this. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Right. Yeah. So fuck it. Let's just do the first joke. Yeah. We'll just do the first joke. See what happens. Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah. No. That's fine. Okay. Right. Madam. Don't worry. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm just going to ask you a question, and no one cares what your answer is going to be. It could be anything, and I'm pretty versatile. If you give me any answer, I can handle it. So just beware. It'll be fine. Okay. So just don't worry. Okay. I'm just going to ask you a question. It's yes or no. And either will be totally cool with me. Either. Okay? So have you ever heard, it's just a question, so don't worry. Have you ever heard of John Paul Getty? Fine. No. Right. Shit. I am totally fucked. Right, no, it's fine. But basically, I'll explain to you. I'll just explain who he is, and then I'll tell the joke. Otherwise, it'd be pointless. It'd be absolutely fucking pointless. For a period of time, rightly or wrongly, and don't worry, for a period of time, rightly or wrongly, he was the richest man in the world. Absolutely fine. He's dead. It's fine. Okay. Have you ever heard of an industry, and it's just an industry, have you ever heard of an industry called oil? Yeah, fine, yeah. It sort of does what it says on the tin. It's fairly straightforward. That's what he was in. He was an oil man in one form or another. And you look like the type of lady, and I'm not projecting on you in any way, who's very interested in different business models. Is that right? Am I right in suggesting that? It's fine. Either way is fine. Anyway, he had a very interesting business model for you. He used to get the oil out of the ground one way or another, rightly or wrongly. Absolutely fine. Get the oil out of the ground, and he put them into. Have you ever heard of super tankers? Super tankers. Have you ever? No, you've never heard of super tankers. Have you ever heard of tankers? Just a question. It doesn't matter either way. You know what a tanker is? Yeah, fine. Before John Paul Getty, there were just tankers. Yeah, fuck it. After him, super tankers, which are basically just big tankers. Yeah, fine. Yeah, fine. Interesting. Something you didn't think you'd know by the end of today. Right. He'd get the oil. He'd get the oil out of the ground. put it in one of his super tanks. He had several. You would, wouldn't you? You bloody would. If you're the richest man in the world. Anyway, he'd get the oil out of the ground, put it in the super tanker, sail it. He didn't sail it. He had people to do that. To one of his refineries, where the oil would get boiled or whatever they do, or added salt or what, you know what they did, and then the oil would go into road tankers, and he used to have lots of little petrol stations peppered across the United States, and the little road tankers would go there, and then people would drive up to the petrol station with their car and put the petrol in, and then they'd go into the shop and they'd buy a sausage roll, or a tuna sandwich or something like that. And you would not believe the markup on those tuna sandwiches. Anyway, they'd give the money in, and it would all go into a trust fund, which it meant he never ever paid tax. Absolutely fucking fine. No, don't worry. He doesn't care. Anyway, that's the background of the joke done. So we're all on the fucking same page now. Yeah, so we'll just go straight into the joke now. If you were the richest man in the world, and I'm not saying you are, if you're the richest man, people come up to you and go, ooh, what's the secret of your success? Okay, I used to hate that question because it's like sort of, I don't know, it's like a question. Anyway, came up with an answer which he always gave because he liked it. He said, I've got 3 secrets to my success, without which I wouldn't be the richest man in the world, which I am, because he was. Firstly, I always get to my desk at 8 a.m. every single morning. Secondly, I always wear a pressed white cotton shirt to work every single day. And thirdly, strike oil. That's the secret of oil. You have to strike it, otherwise. Anyway, that's the first joke done. Don't worry. I told you it was going to be a rough ride. We'll get on to the second joke. Don't worry, sir. The second joke's worse than the first. And then we'll do the third. The third's easy. And you'll find out. Don't worry about it. Sir, and it's just a question. Don't get fussed about it. Do you like melons? What?
Love them, yes.
You love melons. Big fan of melons. What?
In a normal way.
I wouldn't have it any other way. What type of melons do you like?
Honey, water.
Yeah. Any others?
Cantaloupes are pretty cool.
Yeah. No, fair enough. When you think of melons, yeah. Yeah. When you think of melons, do you ever think of the North American banking dynasty, the Mellons?
On occasion.
Fucking hell, do you, man? That's great. That's fucking great. So it's just a segue, that melon, that whole fucking melon nonsense. Basically, the Mellon family, do you know who they are? Don't worry if you don't, because I don't care.
Are they bankers?
Yes, yeah.
BNY Mellon or whatever.
Yeah. They are bankers, yeah. Anyway,
Sorry. No, I don't have that.
No, don't worry. It's absolutely fine. No one. Basically, the North American banking dynasty made their money. Do you know where they made their money? No, 1850s in northwest United States, known as the American Industrial Revolution. Ultimately, they were rich as stink. Yeah? Interesting. When you think of God, do you think of someone floating on a cloud with a sort of curtain on, and a sort of grey beard and a sort of, no hair at the top and sort of grey hairs at the side? The sort of creator of heaven and earth, sort of like the Sistine Chapel, where it sort of goes. Is that your?
Sure. Yeah.
No. Well, is it?
No.
No. Fine. For this joke, would you mind
Yes,
thinking of
yeah.
God that way? Yeah. It would help. It really would. So, this is the joke, and it's worse than worse. Really bad, this one. Literally tumbleweed. They say God, yeah? God. No. God, yeah? Creator of heaven and earth, yeah? Would like to live like the melons, yeah? If he could afford it. Fucking hell, yeah. It's a rough joke. That can go down badly and anyway, fine. So the third joke, which is more straightforward. I didn't write this joke, the third joke, and it's just 3 paragraphs. I'm just going to read the joke, and then I'm going to go, okay? Ideally, if we could do it in complete silence, I'd appreciate it. I'll just walk away. So just zone out. Zone out for the next 65 to 75 seconds. I'll try to speed it up, and then I'll just walk away, and then it'll be over. Yeah, and be a break, and it'll be great. Yeah, you're nodding. So it's just fine. I just read it, and then I go. Okay, simple as that. Job's a good one. Shh. Complete silence, ideally. There's this inflatable boy, see? Oh, is there? He goes to this inflatable school, and whilst there he finds himself having a really bad day. Bored with the lesson, he gets up and walks out of the inflatable classroom. But while walking down the corridor, he sees the inflatable headmaster approaching him. The inflatable boy pulls out a pin and punctures the inflatable headmaster before running out of the inflatable school gates. Just as he gets past the gates, he thinks again, I hate school, and once more pulls out his pin and pokes it into the inflatable school. He then runs as fast as his inflatable legs will allow, all the way home, and races into his inflatable bedroom. A couple of hours later, his inflatable mother is knocking at his bedroom door, and with her are the inflatable police. Panicking, our inflatable boy yet again pulls out the pin and jabs it into himself. Later on that evening, he wakes up in an inflatable hospital, and in the bed next to him, he sees the inflatable headmaster. Shaking his deflated head, more in sorrow than in anger, the headmaster gravely intones, "You've let me down. You've let the school down. But worst of all, you let yourself down." Thank you very much. Thank you. I've been Ed Aczel.